Libertarian presidential nominee Gary Johnson is going to join me. He's on the ballot right now in 43 states. Signatures are still being validated in 4. But there are legal challenges taking place in 3 important ones, which we've highlighted in red: Michigan, Pennsylvania, and Oklahoma. Now, Gary Johnson swings both ways. While Republicans fear that he could have an effect on key states like Michigan, Pennsylvania, Iowa, and Ohio, some Democrats are actually worried that he could hurt President Obama in New Mexico and Colorado. For example, in New Mexico, recent polls show the president only leading by 5 points, and among independents in that state, Johnson gets 12% of the vote. Of course, he is a former governor. Gary Johnson is out front tonight. Good to see you, sir. Really appreciate you taking the time.
Great to be on with you. Thank you.
All right. So some people out there saying, all right, look, you can come, you can make your point, but are you going to spoil this election for one or the other? When they say that, what do you say? You laugh? You laugh in my face?
No, not at your face. No, the notion that a wasted vote is somehow voting for somebody that you believe in. Look, for all those people that care about the fact that we continually militarily intervene, let's stop the wars. Let's stop the growing police state in this country. Let's balance the federal budget now. Earlier in the earlier segment, you were talking about taxes. I'm advocating throwing out the income tax, corporate tax, abolishing the IRS, and replacing all of that with one federal consumption tax, the fair tax in particular.
Sort of a VAT?
Well, not a VAT, because a VAT ends up to be just another tax. I'm talking about one federal tax, that is the fair tax. For those watching, check it out, fairtax.org.
All right, and I'm sure some people will. But Stephen Moore of the Wall Street Journal wrote last month, quote, "There's at least one politician at the Republican convention this week whom the parties undoubtedly wish would stay away." That would be Gary Johnson.
Well,
now, John King just gave the numbers. He just gave the numbers and said Jill Stein takes a point from President Obama, but you take 3. Mitt Romney goes down by 3. You go up by 3. I mean, it is Mitt Romney.
Well,
it appears on a national level.
Actually, they've put this to the question in 4 different states, and in 2 states I take more votes away from Obama, 2 states I take more away from Romney, and then I just get back to the issues. Who's speaking on behalf of most Americans, which I would argue are fiscally responsible and socially accepting?
Right. I mean, Colorado is another state where you really get a lot of vote, and that, I mean, this is pot.
Yeah. Well, and it is on the ballot in November to regulate marijuana like alcohol. I think it actually might be the tipping point to 50 states, 50 state dominoes that'll fall and actually bring about rational drug policy. We'll have to wait and see on that.
And now, what about your view overall? When you said fiscally conservative, there are social liberals. I'm not just talking about pot. I'm also talking about your views on same-sex marriage. You're for it.
Yes.
You also support a woman's right to choose.
Absolutely.
Now, do you think that some people that are coming to you are coming as a result of the highly publicized Republican platform, which would deny an abortion in all cases? Is that moving the needle for voters?
Well, I think so. Again, I think the world vilifies Republicans for their social stands. I don't think the majority of Republicans fall in that category, but the majority of Republican activists certainly do. And I think that there's a turnoff there. I really do. Having run for governor of New Mexico, having served 2 terms as governor of New Mexico in a state that's 2-to-1 Democrat, I just think it speaks volumes that I got reelected in a state by being a penny pincher, really. Aaron, I may have vetoed more bills than the other 49 governors in the country combined, and I really took some stands when it came to civil liberties.
All right. Well, thank you very much, Governor.
Thank
Good
you
to
very
see you.
much.
We appreciate
Great to see
it.
you. Thanks.
All right. Well, out front next, how